This is Lorenzo McVay, born May 6, 1949, and served in the Vietnam War in the Army. His highest rank was Sergeant E5. Today is May 28th, 2017 at 7:49 p.m. I am Amber McVay. Lorenzo is my father. This interview is being conducted for the Veterans History Project at the Library of Congress. So my first question is, where and when were you born?
I was born in Red Bluff, California in 1949.
And what was school life like for you?
Well, after I was taken away from my mother, I went through a series of foster homes, and then at 7 years old was adopted and started my formal schooling at that point. And to answer your question, school for me was it wasn't bad. I mean, it was a good experience, tedious at times, but it was fun drinking and knowledge.
Did any of your other family members serve in the military?
My adopted father did. He was in the Army in World War II.
Were you drafted or did you enlist in the Army?
The draft was raging at that point. However, I myself enlisted.
Why did you specifically choose the Army?
I really can't answer that other than that's the first branch that I went to.
What was it like adapting to military life?
It was difficult initially. When you first get inducted, you go through a series of tests, and then get sent to your basic training company. It's quite a transition. At least for me, getting off the truck, several drill sergeants screaming and barking commands, and I understand that's to break down the individuality. You're to work as a team. It's always as a team.
Mm-hmm. Where did you serve?
I served when I first went in to basic training. I went to Fort Jackson, South Carolina. After I completed that, I went to Fort Lee, Virginia, and took small arms repair. From that point, I went to Fort Benning, Georgia, for gym school. Completed that and was assigned to the 82nd Airborne in North Carolina, Fort Bragg.
What was the trip over there like? Well,
I got orders for Vietnam, and it was. You're excited on one hand, and obviously concerned on the other as well. But I had bought into the concept of defending our country and taking care of it there before they were on our shores. So.
What was some of the things that you witnessed relating to combat?
Well, there's many things. One in particular that I can recall. We were at a fire support base with 105 howitzers and mortars. We were there to reinforce them because they were anticipating an attack. And there was a Bell helicopter, observational helicopter, and it was shot down, and we had to go retrieve the bodies. And it's just, I guess that was really the first time I had seen one of, our own killed. And when I went down there with several others with body bags, they had been burned beyond recognition, and pulling them out, they were just cooked. And the only thing you could tell that they were humans was the dog tags. And it struck me at that moment that, whoever's son, brother, or husband, or father this was, they don't even know that yet, that he's dead. And so that was, that impressed me quite a bit.
Did you form any friendships from joining the military?
Yes, probably some of them, the most profound friendships that I've experienced. When you're in a situation like that, you're depending on the person next to you to have your back, and you trust them. That's you have a shared experience like that, you get close. So,
do you still keep in contact with anyone?
No. No, I think, the war was so distasteful to our society at that time that when we came back, and the reception that we encountered, we just wanted to forget and to move on, and it was too painful.
Were you sent home when everybody else was?
No, I was actually, I think, two months away from having my tour in. In fact, I was just ready to go on R&R, and I hit a booby trap and got some shrapnel on my neck, and was medevaced out and was put on a medevac plane to Japan, and they stabilized me there, and then I was sent to Valley Forge and outside of Philadelphia, and convalesced there for a couple months.
What was it like when you came home? Because since it was the Vietnam War, not everybody was happy with being in a new war. So when you came back, what was some of the things that the civilians said to you or anything?
Yeah, that was a difficult time. I see the warriors today with Afghanistan and Iraq and the Middle Eastern countries, and it's good that they're getting the support that they should be getting, the respect. We, however, did not. We didn't have that opportunity. I was in airport in San Diego. I was in my uniform, and I had, I guess you call them hippies, or spit on me, calling me a baby killer. But I'm not the only one. Many people have experienced that. It was just the turbulent times that our society was going through. And it really had an impact, I think, on all of us that came back. Nobody was looking for, I guess, any accolades, but we certainly weren't prepared for the open hostility that we encountered.
How has some of the things that you witnessed affect your life now?
I think I know it's had a profound effect on my life. Remember the people that I used to hang out with before I went over there, went into the military. When I came back, they were telling me how different I was. Of course, I didn't see it at the time, but they said it was very different. I think just in terms of being a lot more standoffish, withdrawn, angry to a certain extent, having difficulty with relationships. I keep hearing the same problems, that I'm emotionally unavailable. So I've been in counseling, working on that. I have a pretty intense startle response. If I hear loud noises, I react to that. I have been diagnosed with PTSD. I'm constantly checking my perimeter around my home, and I don't care to be around large groups of people. I'm uncomfortable with that. So all of these things I'm working on. I've been seeing a psychiatrist and through the VA, and that's been helpful. And I'm on medication for anxiety and depression, and that has been helpful as well.
Have you learned any life lessons from being in the military?
Well, I guess, on a positive note, I've learned, to be disciplined, and understand what it's going to take to get things done, and to not be swayed from accomplishing those goals. On the downside, because of my experience in Vietnam and coming home, it's made me suspicious and withdrawn, and there's some negative traits to that.
Thank you so much.